Well, welcome back to the channel. Following on from the last episode where we've tied up the primary. That's all in place, as you can see behind me. I've stripped part of the bike down. Usually when I put engines in, I've normally just got a chassis, lay the engine on its side, fit the actual frame over. But obviously this has got a lot of components that are still in situ. So I'm actually going to try and get this engine into this frame just by lifting it down and lifting it in. I'll probably use a lift just so I can bring it up to the right level, and then hopefully slide it in, move everything out of the way that needs to be out of the way. So we've got bits of carburetor parts there, and obviously the oil lines, I need them out of the way. But I'll show you the gap that we've got to deal with and the brackets, and then we can get this lump in this frame, which will be absolutely fantastic. So let me show you where I'm at the moment. That was the bracket I was actually on about. As you can see, it's actually welded to the frame. I believe later models had a bolt through with a bracket that detached, so you could actually fit the whole engine straight in. So I've got a bracket there with a bolt through. I've taken the bolt out, that's just up on the bench, and then we've got another one that went through the bottom. I've moved the cables out of the way. Everything else should be fine. I just need to move the oil line out of the way. So I've removed the tank, removed the seat, got all that out of the way. So I just need to tuck bits out. So it is just two fixings. You can see one just about there at the end of my finger, and there at the end of my finger. So that top one fits in there, and the one underneath should go through. I'll leave the camera rolling. I don't know how easy it's going to be or how much manoeuvrability I'll have. But as I say, that engine now is partially made up. It's actually heavier than I expected. But if I can get it from the bench, I'm going to put this lift up. Hopefully at the right level, I should be able to pull the engine through and get it in position and bolt it up. Alright, so there's the first bit down off the bench and sitting on the board on the lift. So I just need to edge the bike a little bit closer, and that's going to be the tough bit. See if I can get it in position. Might be easier to actually tip it back and then slide it through. That's nearly in position. That was easier than I thought. Alright, let's try that. Yes. Well, that actually wasn't too bad. Right, so all I've got to do now is the actual bottom mount. This bolt here is get that in position. Yeah, so it's actually that mount. Oh good, that's so nice to see it in the frame. And I've still got plenty of room to get the rockers on. Right, finally got that bolt in place. I actually had to take this one out. And that's it, 2 engine bolts, one at the bottom, one at the front. Engine is in. Yes, you can see it there. So I'll loop the cable back over at a later point. So all I've got to do now is just tighten up these. But oh, that's so nice to actually see that back in. Not as bad as I expected. Once you get a good lift of the engine, it's not too bad. It's just trying to do it by yourself. It can be a bit awkward. In fact, I can actually see why some of the people I've actually seen build it have actually put the whole head in when it's in the bike. So they're just putting the crankcase in. So almost an empty workbench. Right, let me get these nuts tightened up and then we'll move on to the next bit. Right, so I've laid out the next bit. There's my gaskets. So as you can see, that's the gaskets going in, bolts going through. I've taken off the actual covers and the clamps. I'm actually going to give them a bit of a clean up. So we've got our new rods. Those are the old ones. I say one of the ends had actually fallen off, so 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and they actually connect onto them 2 points there. So I just need to slide them down. So that will be the front head, or front rocker and rear rocker. So obviously that's where the oil line will fit in. So that's one. That's the other. Over with the gasket. They actually fit through the gasket. Over with our head. We've still got room. And same for the back too. Same again with the gasket. Right, them two are now down. Takes a little bit of jiggling, and I had to undo a few leads, wires. Right, so I'll just get this one down, get a spanner on it, then we can start on the front one. Right, so the back one's now in. I've rotated the engine slightly. So it actually enables me to get this rocker in position. Drop the bolts in. So that's the front one down. These have all got to be torqued up. So it's just a case of getting the rear one. So as soon as I've got that one down, I'm actually going to take this off, just give it a bit of a clean up. Because it is a bit so it's just a case of getting it out of the oil feed tube. Quick clean up, quick straighten out, and then we can get that in position. So just giving that a quick clean up, push that back in position. So one copper washer on there. So what's left to do is tighten them up. I've still got the head to torque down. Just want to make sure everything fits alright, and that everything that's still attached to the frame, I know exactly where it's actually attaching to. And obviously we've still got the points to do. Well, electronic ignition now. The actual box is just the other side of that plate. Still got a gearbox to sort. I need to loosely put that plate on and the bolt in place, but I need to sort out where that selector's going before I can actually add on the next bit. And then obviously the primary, I've got to go back round to that side. Obviously it's carb still to go on, exhaust, etc. But so nice to actually see it actually back in a frame. So the last job I want to do today, got the gaskets ready, is just fit the carb manifold. Washers on. Again, loose fit for now. So actually pleased with how everything's come out, everything's gone together. Still need to find, there's 2 bolts here, 2 on the other side. I'll get these covers cleaned up. Probably give this just a wipe round just to make sure it's clean. So we've still got all the brakes to check, front and rear, check tyre pressures. We need to replace the gator and then start untying all this cabling, start getting everything in the right place. And very little left on the bench, which is great. Need to also make up a new one of these as well, so that should be interesting to see how that goes together. And very little in boxes as well. The big box at the bottom is the actual outer plate with the kickstart. Remains of the gaskets. We've got points to put in, coils to fit as well, so we need to get the coils actually done as well. So we'll just work through and then we'll do a complete front to back sweep, cleaning, tidying, checking for any loose wires, get the clocks connected properly, clean up the tail light. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. As I say, that was nice to actually get the engine in, start getting things bolted down, start getting more things in place. Took a while to get it wiggled into the right place to get the bolts through. So there is only 2, just one at the bottom, one at the front. Wasn't as bad as I expected. I think once I had the lift next to it and I could slide the engine over, and then get this in position and just leverage it into the right place, get the bolts through. It was actually pretty good, so really pleased. As usual, any comments in the comments box below. I appreciate all your feedback, all your comments. This is, every step is breaking new ground. It is making sense. The further I get into it, the easier it's starting to understand it. It's going. I think it's going really well. Like I said before, anybody else that's in the situation where they're doing a Triumph, I'd love to hear from you. That would be really fantastic. I have got 4 nuts left to get, so anybody that's noticed that they're not actually on, the main 4 are on, but the other 4 I need to get. Links to other videos at the end of the video. As always, thanks for watching. Join me again next time. Cheers. Bye.